Inbound marketing sounds so cool, right? I mean, all you've got to do is just put out some content and leads come to you in droves. Or is it? Because listen, you already know if you've got bad strategy, you're going to have bad results. So let's talk about your inbound marketing strategy right now. Hey, it's Alzay Calhoun with Coveted Consultant. In this video, we're talking about inbound marketing strategy. Now, the concept sounds great. You just put out some content and leads come flowing on in. Well, the truth is that there's some details you got to consider, and strategy always comes first. So let's divide the conversation because there's different ways to think about this. There's the conventional way, and then there's the coveted way. Now, the conventional way is standard, run-of-the-mill, normal, everyday, boring thought processes that lead to standard run-of-the-mill, everyday, boring results. But then there's the coveted thinking, which focuses more deeply, which cares more specifically, and as a result sees different results from the marketplace. So let's break this down and let's consider the niche of management consultants. So you're a management consultant, you offer package consulting services, you offer high-level consulting services to the leaders of different organizations. So if you were to go into inbound marketing and use the conventional approach, how would you do it? So typically, management consultants say, we do everything, right? Any issue that affects a CEO or C-level executive, we can deal with. So what that creates is a bunch of different data points, possibilities, right, of content to create, because we do everything. And so normally management consultants hire some really high level team members. They are experienced. They've got really deep projects under their belts. They probably have advanced degrees. They're deeply certified. I mean, they are absolute experts. So what you do is you interview, that's what you would normally do, you would do profiles of your different team members to show all the expertise available, right? So that creates more data points because everybody has their own individual expertise and you got to talk about all that, right? So then there is our founder's story. So every company wants to tell their story and we've been told to tell our story. So you tell your story and you start with how your great-great-grandfather fell off an Apple truck in 1865, and when he bumped his head, he had an idea, this great service that could be offered to companies, etc., right? So you tell that founder story, which further dilutes your message, right? Because someone's got to connect these profiles to the story, but we'll get to that in a second. So then what you do is you begin to create the content, right? We've been told about inbound marketing. You create content. So you start creating blog posts. You do an interview series with your team members, right? Because you want everybody to know what great team members you have and the value they can offer. Then you create this awesome white paper that tells your founder's story. Now, you got to execute. So you hire an editor or someone on your team becomes the editor. You hire a content creator and a promoter. And then you hire some freelancers to do the design work and stuff like that. So this becomes your content marketing strategy, right? Okay. So let's look at a more coveted approach. So we'll do the comparison very quickly. So the first difference between the coveted thinking and the conventional thinking is instead of talking about we do everything, all these different things that we could do, our whole big long menu of services. Instead of offering a menu of services, we're going to focus on what we have committed to fix in every organization we come across. No matter what organization that comes to us, we have committed to fixing a certain problem. So let's assume for a second that the problem as a management consultant that you've chosen to fix is the employee onboarding and exiting process. You believe as a company that if companies were to onboard their employees well and then to exit them well, then the companies would see a variety of benefit. So now, instead of having multiple data points of what you do, all that different stuff, those menu of services, you just got two. You've chosen to focus on two specific data points, okay? So then instead of doing team member profiles like a conventional company would, you choose to focus specifically on client case studies. These are people who have experienced your wonderful, that have experienced your excellence in bringing on new employees and exiting them well. And so now what you can do with these case studies is take this conversation and take it deeper. Because the case studies will be very plain stories of where that client was before they worked with you, the specific process you walked them through, either the onboarding process or the exiting process, and where they are now as a result, right? That's the whole client case study outline, right? So now you're taking this conversation and you're taking it deeper. Then instead of talking about our founder's story, now you're talking about why we exist, why it's so important to us as a company, to you as a company, that we fix these issues in the marketplace. Why is it so important that we do that, right? Well, because if you onboard prospective employees the way you're supposed to, then they'll simply stay longer. They feel prepared when they join the job, right? And then if you exit your employees the way you're supposed to, then they'll be more likely to refer business to you from whatever company they go to. Bottom line is, as you tell that story, as you make those points clear, you get to take this story even deeper. So now, then you do the exact same things that the conventional company did. You create blog posts, but the blog posts aren't about 100 different topics. These blog posts are specifically about how you onboard new employees and how you exit them. That's the only thing you're talking about in these blog posts. Again, you take the conversation even deeper. Then you do the interview series with the people who you did the case studies on, right? Perhaps where they are 2 months after working with you, where they are 6 months, where they are a year after working with you. So more proof points, right? Takes the conversation even deeper, right? So then when you create this white paper that talks about why we exist, and they hear the zeal and the intention and the purpose behind why you exist, it takes the conversation even deeper. So the first thing you've got to see is that the difference in strategic intent when you create these content pieces, that it just feels scattered. You've just opened up more data points to talk about, and it's confusing when a new company wants to interact with you. But if you've taken a more focused approach, committing to being excellent in a couple of very, very basic places, then you can take the conversation deeper and deeper and deeper with every piece of content you create. That's the point. And so when a prospective client reads or takes in your content and they can feel the depth of it, they can feel how seriously you take these topics. And it's not a matter of creating more content. It's about creating deeper content, more intentioned content. So to continue, so you hire an editor, you hire a content creator and promoter, you hire a freelancer. So you do the same thing. So the conventional company, and this might be you right now, you look at what you're doing, you look at what they're doing, and from an execution standpoint, you're saying, well, we're doing the same thing. We've got blog posts, they've got blog posts. They have a content team, we've got a content team. Why are they having so much success? And it feels like we're kind of wasting our time with this inbound marketing stuff because of their strategy up front. They had a clearer, focused strategy up front. So my encouragement to you is to do the coveted thing, is to accept the challenge to be excellent in your marketplace and to talk about that excellence with some depth. Now, if you need some help with this, because this can be a lot to take in at once, there is a specific funnel that I recommend that literally takes you from the big idea that you want to talk about as a company and takes it all the way down to how new clients join your business. And so you can download that. You can get free access to it as below in the description for this blog post. So, but whatever next step you choose to take, don't be this guy. It doesn't stand alone. It doesn't promote itself. It doesn't attract clients in some magical way. A real step-by-step content marketing funnel with your big idea, your transformational, productized service that you bring to you, because this is the improved model about how to follow up and close these highly